Alright, I'm using electrolysis to add some color to this Buddha that I just poured. And it reminded me of some chemistry misconceptions I had as a kid that scared the crap out of me. When I was in 8th grade, I had just learned about electrolysis. I thought if you had fluoridated tap water and you ran electrolysis on it, it would make fluorine gas. And I knew how dangerous and reactive that stuff was. It scared the crap out of me. I also thought if lightning were to hit a body of salt water, that it could possibly make chlorine gas. And I thought that's why after a lightning storm there was a smell in the air. And I also thought at the other extreme, if negative charge were to hit seawater, seawater obviously has all sorts of dissolved ions in it. And if it had any dissolved gold or silver ions, I thought that's how gold or silver nuggets were formed. I had a lot of misconception about electrolysis. Now, when I was in college, my family and I had renovated our basement, and we got a radon test to test the basement to make sure if we had any high levels of radon. I remember it was in a very low range, so we were all good. But it dawned on me, and this misconception actually wasn't unfounded, it dawned on me that when radon decays, there's quite a few radioactive elements before it finally decays to lead. And also, lead isn't very healthy either. And it occurred to me, if you had unhealthy radon levels in the basement, could you then accumulate a lot of lead dust in the basement? And it scared the crap out of me. I would go to somebody else's basement, and after I would come home, I would make sure to wash my clothes, take a shower. The lead probably isn't the most toxic thing. It's actually, along the way, there's radioactive lead and also polonium before you get to the stable lead 206, I believe. The amount of lead 206 you'll probably get in contact with from that is probably negligible. And I also had a big fear of red food dye because I thought it was made of bromine. I had saw a picture of bromine in my chemistry books, and I thought that was red food dye. And I thought that was why red food dye was bad for you. And then later on, when I learned some biology and learned where AIDS had come from, I thought red food dye was made from blood from some animal, and it made me worry if you could get an unknown disease from eating red food dye. Maybe it will start the next pandemic. That's what I thought as a kid. But you know what? Red food dye isn't good for you anyway, regardless of whether it had bromine or animal blood in it. So I guess that wasn't the end of the world to believe that. I also learned about aqua regia, which dissolves gold. I knew our stomachs had hydrochloric acid. And one day I was reading a label, I think of some processed meat, and it had nitrates in it. And it dawned on me, if the nitrates react with acid in your stomach and make nitric acid, and that combines with hydrochloric acid in your stomach, could it dissolve a hole in your stomach because it's aqua regia, right? And anyway, that's what happens when you know chemistry halfway through, right? It scares the crap out of you, right?